Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Captain America Brave New World. And this is the latest addition into the MCU, as we see Sam Wilson, Anthony Mackie's character, taking on the mantle of Captain America for his big first movie exploration of this character in this way after he got Falcon and the Winter Soldier series, where he got to finally pick up the mantle by the end of that series. And here, Thunderbolt Ross, now played by Harrison Ford, has become the president, and there is a grand conspiracy going on involving himself and some mysterious elements from previous films. Finally, the return of Samuel Stearns, the leader from Incredible Hulk. And this film, I think, is a really fine addition into the MCU. This isn't going to blow you away. This is not top tier MCU, but it's a fun time. I think the action is very exciting. They have some cool action set pieces. There's a whole aerial scrum over this celestial island that they're finally, exploring in this film after the Eternals set up this giant celestial just hanging out in the Indian Ocean. I think like I said, the action is exciting. There's some scenes where you could definitely tell they were done in reshoots that are a little clunky, but I think the action is exciting. I think it's well paced. This is just a hair under 2 hours, and it moves. It keeps you engaged and it keeps you enthralled in this espionage thriller that's going on here. This big geopolitical thriller. I think the sci-fi elements of it, there's one particular character, Stern's character, that you have to kind of give into the conceit about his powers and stuff like that, and just are okay, can understand why he's several steps ahead of everybody. I think he teleports though. At certain points it kind of feels like that narratively. But I think this film really leans into some important elements of that trauma of the leader and what has happened to that character in the past 17 years. You have this whole journey of Thunderbolt Ross, now president, who still yearns to have his daughter Betty, played by Liv Tyler, forgive him and accept him back into her life. And that emotional element stands there, and him trying to get past his old ways and him trying to grow. And also this conflict between him and Sam Wilson, because they've certainly never gotten along, and that history is explored in this film in a really meaningful way at the core of it. And Sam's trying to prove himself in this new world, this brave new world where he's Captain America. He doesn't have a super serum. He's doing things with his Wakandan-built suit and his shield, and there's just a sense of authenticity here of this is a man who has to really step up into a position where he feels like he doesn't really belong. And he has to find the strength to be yes, I belong here, defending the world. And I think that's such a powerful thing. There's how the story all comes together. There's layers to it and plot twists and turns. You have the whole organization Serpent, led by Sidewinder, played by Giancarlo Esposito, who gets a nice little introduction in this film, certainly setting up for more. He's not supposed to be the main antagonist. I think he does fine for where he is. I do feel like it's a little shoehorned in at times, because you can tell that some of his scenes were done in post and kind of look it. I appreciate how he's incorporated how the leader is this puppeteer pulling the strings, but really at the core of it's this conflict going on with President Ross, and you also have Captain America and the new Falcon, Danny Ramirez is Joaquin Torres, and their budding dynamic, and Shira Haas, who plays Ruth Bat Seraph, who's this right hand to the president. And I appreciate how they incorporate Isaiah Bradley into this story, because it adds this added weight to Cap questioning, like, just how much he should get involved with the U.S. government. After everything they did to Isaiah, Carl Lumley really selling this performance. There's some moments where this might veer into something meaningful and political to say. I do feel like the film, though, plays it really safe geopolitically and doesn't try to rock the boat or in a political perspective, trying to feel like it's smoothing things out and playing it safe. But this story from start to finish, I think, is well structured, even if it has a lot of moving pieces. I think it's exciting to watch. Sure, there's some logic leaps. There's definitely some heavy green screen usage here, and you can see where they did some reshoots, and it looks really clunky, and that certainly doesn't do the film a lot of favors, especially because there's some special effects elements that are incredible, especially the Red Hulk, as we build up to that climax. And I think at the heart of this, it's Anthony Mackie and Harrison Ford delivering two fantastic performances, really bringing it all and bringing layers of emotion to this conflict. I think Ramirez is a really fun addition. I like his banter with Sam and how they work well together. Like I said, Lumley brings a lot of emotion here. I think Tim Blake Nelson, even if he's underutilized a bit, I think does a really fine job lending, like, he has good presence. His look is very interesting, let's just say that. And Giancarlo Esposito certainly makes an impact with the minimal time that he has on screen. It sets up some interesting elements. It has a good story arc in itself and has that emotion and opens up where, Captain America and hopefully the Avengers will be coming in at some point. And I appreciate how this film really comes together in that way. It's not perfect. It's not the strongest entry they've put out, but it's certainly one that has a lot of merit and finds some ways to dig a little deeper and deliver something meaningful. But those are my thoughts on Captain America Brave New World. Let me know what you think and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.